Yo, I keep hearing people say my truth and your truth, like truth is a pizza where everyone gets their own slice. Well, I'm about to tell you why this phrase is literally destroying our society and why the Bible has something very different to say about truth. And if you think I'm being dramatic, stick around, okay? Because at the end of this video, you're going to see why this isn't just a philosophical debate. It's about the foundation of truth and reality itself.
I am a lean on you. I've learned to lean on you. Lean on you. I learned to...
My name is Great Akudo, and welcome back to the Akudo Experience. If you're new here, we talk about Jesus, family, business, and sometimes I delve into cultural issues that are affecting all of us. But before we get into this, let me tell you something that's based on absolute truth, right? Not my truth, and that's mathematics. If you need working capital for your business, we can get you 25 million in just 24 to 72 hours. The math works the same for everyone if you qualify. You get funded. So check out monify.com, www.monify.com, and I'll put the link in the description. Now, I want to be clear about something. This isn't about politics, okay? This isn't about taking sides in the cultural war going on. This is about reality itself and why abandoning objective truth is destroying our ability to have meaningful conversations about anything, okay? So hit the like button if you're ready to think with me. Share this with someone who needs to hear it and comment as we go. Let's dive in. When did truth become subjective? So when did we start acting like truth is based on only how you feel or what your experience is? If everyone has their own truth, then nobody has the truth, right? It's mathematical impossibility if you think about it. So you know what it's like? Imagine if I walk into a boxing ring and told my opponent, hey, in my truth, I never lost a fight. But you just watched me get knocked out cold in the first round. What's the reality, right? In my mind, I might tell myself I don't really lose. Maybe I think the referee stopped it too early. Maybe I blame my gloves or the canvas or whatever, but the video doesn't lie though. The scorecards don't lie. Reality is reality. But here's what's happening in our culture today. People are saying that things like, that's your truth and this is my truth, as if reality changes or warps based on perspective. I can say my truth is that I'm 6'5" and I'm a former NBA player, but my birth certificate and the fact that you can see me right now say something different. My feelings don't change that fact, right? And this is thinking. This stupid thinking is this my truth mentality is why we can't agree on basic reality anymore. So let me tell you what the Bible says about truth, because this is where it gets revolutionary, if you would say. Read John chapter 14 verse 6, right? It says, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. I don't know if you caught that though. Jesus says, I am. He didn't say, I'll show you the truth or I have some truth for you. He said, I am the truth. Truth isn't a what, it's a who. So this changed everything for me. Coming from Nigeria to America, I encountered all kinds of different perspectives, different ways of seeing life. But I had to ask myself, is truth based on culture, or is it based on experience, or is it something bigger? Look at what Jesus said in John chapter 8 verse 32. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Not you will know your truth, or you will discover the truth that's for you. The truth is what he says. So in my culture, we have this concept. When the elders speak truth, it's truth, whether you like it or not. Your feelings about it don't change it. Your experience doesn't alter it. Truth stands independent of your opinion about it in my culture. And here's why this matters so much. Pilate asked Jesus, what is truth? And Jesus said, who is truth? You know, who was standing right in front of him. The same thing is happening today. People are asking what is truth while ignoring the one who claims to be truth. Absolute truth doesn't exist to oppress you. It exists to protect you. It's like gravity. You can defy it, whether you like it or not. You cannot defy gravity. You know what I mean? Unless you're an airplane guy or you know how to fly. So let me tell you where my truth thinking leads, because We're already seeing it play out in this day and age. If truth is subjective, then justice becomes impossible. How can we have courts? How can we have laws if the defendant's truth is that he didn't commit a crime and the victim's truth is that he did, and everyone's truth is equally valid? How do you determine what actually happens when justice is to be served? You remember when I reacted to Deontay Wilder's walking out of that interview? He was living in his truth, claiming Tyson Fury cheated, bringing up race, making it about everything except what actually happened in the ring. But the video footage doesn't lie. The judges' scorecards don't lie. Reality is reality. This is why people can't agree on basic facts anymore. We've been trained to think that your perspective is just as valid as documented evidence. I have a feeling that whatever happened is just as important as what didn't happen. Now, here's the scary part. When you abandon objective truth, you don't get freedom, you get chaos. Because if there's no such thing as truth, then there's no such thing as lies either. If nothing is really true, then everything becomes manipulation. I've lived in multiple countries, worked in different industries, encountered all kinds of worldviews, but I've learned that societies only function when there's agreement on basic reality. When everyone gets to have their own truth, society breaks down. Do you understand me? So what's the solution? How do we get back to reality? Someone hit me in the head and bring me back to reality, because we need to get back to objective truth. And for Christians, that means getting back to Jesus, who claims and claimed to be truth. Now, here's what this looks like practically. Before you say, well, that's just your truth, ask yourself, what does the evidence say? What do the facts show? What would be true even if nobody believed it? Now, some people will say, but great, doesn't everyone interpret things differently? Yes, we interpret things differently, but interpretation doesn't change the underlying reality of a thing. If we're both looking at a red car, you might see it as more crimson, I might see it as more scarlet, right? But we're not going to disagree that there's a car there or that it's red. The interpretation can vary slightly, but the basic reality is the same. Jesus said he came to bear witness to the truth, not to give us more options, not to add to the confusion, but to reveal reality itself. And here's what I've discovered. Living according to truth isn't restrictive, it's liberating actually, because when you build your life on what's actually real instead of what you wish was real, you can make decisions that can actually work. So here's my challenge to you this week. Before you say my truth or your truth, ask yourself, what is the truth? Right? When someone hurts you and you want to tell your side of the story, ask what actually happened. Not how you felt about it, not what you think they meant, but what actually occurred. When you're making a decision about your career, your relationships, your money, don't just go with what feels right and what is right according to objective realities where you should focus on. So I want to know from you, comment below and tell me, what's the one area in your life when you see our society abandoning objective truth? Where do you see this my truth thinking causing problems? I want to know what you guys think. Now, if you disagree with me, I want to hear from you too. But let's have a real conversation about this based on evidence and reasoning, okay? Not just feelings and opinions, okay? So share this video with someone who needs to hear this, not to start an argument, but to start a conversation about what's real and what matters. Makes you think. Even if it made you uncomfortable, hit that like button, okay? If you want more content where we tackle the tough cultural realities on issues from biblical perspective, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Next video, we'll be diving into Romans chapter 2, and you're going to see Paul deal with the exact same issue we just talked about. People thinking they had their own version of truth, their own way to God and their standards of right and wrong. It's going to be powerful, okay? So tune in. This is the Akuda experience where we choose truth over trend and reality over feelings. Remember, truth isn't mean. Truth is loving because truth protects us from deception. I'm Great Akudo. Stay strong in the truth, not just your feelings. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Lean on you.